International Women's Day falls on the 8th of March every year. So today on House and Home, we want to celebrate all the women. The best way to start International Women's Day is with a great breakfast. So I'm making pancakes with some mixed raspberries and maple syrup on top. So I've taken the easier way and bought a premix. So all you have to do is add water. And what I'm going to do as well is add a bit of food coloring, this pink food coloring here, but you can pick whatever color you want. So open the mix, 1.5 cups of water. And all it is shaking the mix. And now just a little bit of the food coloring. Say like 2 drips. Okay, it's all mixed up, so now we're gonna start cooking. It should take 2 minutes on one side first and then just flip to the other side for 1 minute. So I'm using butter. I don't really like using oil because it tends to, the batter tends to soak up all the oil too much. And you can taste the oil too greasy. So just a little bit of butter. Maybe just wait till it coats on a bit. And straight from the bottle. Now just wait. When you see a lot of these bubbles come up, that's when you know that you're supposed to turn it. So I think we should try flip it. No, not just yet. Well, first batch, since we still have enough butter in there, we don't need to add some more. You can even add choc chips or sultana in this, but I wanted to keep mine plain and add the berries and maple syrup so there's not too much flavor, a mixed flavor in there. Okay, the pancakes are all cooked. I just wanted to say one thing. This is the buttermilk mixture. It's Green's buttermilk mixture. There's also gluten-free and original. You can pick whatever you want. It's only $10. You can get it at Food World, Stop and Shop, or even SVS. Okay, I've got frozen raspberries. I brought frozen raspberries, and all I've done is heated them up in some sugar just to sweeten it. So I'll add that. So there's strawberries, raspberries, and blueberries in there. You can just put them on the side. Oh, I hope these pancakes don't fall over. Put a bit on top. That's so pretty. And of course, maple syrup. Well, there it is, my International Women's Day breakfast. Stay with me because next up, I'm meeting up with one of our most prominent women in PNG, Lady Kudo, over at Tarama Tutu Beach Retreat.
My dream is to get another building into the side of the hill where I can transfer the PNG section of the library and the
I'm back here at the Tutu Beach Retreat in Tarama. This time, I'll be talking to the woman behind it all, who has been a role model to many young women and men of PNG. She was the only female member of parliament from 2002 to 2007 and served as the Minister for Community Development. She was made a Dame Commander of the Order of the British Empire in 2005 and is now Dame Carol Kidu. In 2009, she was made a Knight of the Légion d'honneur by France for her dedication to helping women, young girls, children, the physically and mentally impaired, and her commitment to fighting discrimination. She was the first citizen of Papua New Guinea to ever receive this award. And now, still giving back to the community, she has built a beautiful retreat for families to unwind and relax. Okay, so what is it like waking up to this every morning?
Well, I think you should come and stay here one night so you can see. It's actually really beautiful. The sunrise is over there, over near Barakau and Tubasarea and Lolawata, and it's a beautiful thing to wake up to.
That's awesome. So why don't we just take a seat? Yeah. That's it. How long has the Tutu Beach Retreat been operating?
Probably, I'd say, about a year. We started working on it in 2018, and it's been, as we can afford it, we're doing another thing. About a year, yeah. Gradually, we're trying to diversify all sorts of things. We've got kayaks, we've got the playground with the pirate ship. We do massage, foot massage and shoulder massages for people who would like a massage. Trips to the island.
So it really is a place to relax.
Come and relax,
yeah.
That's the idea, relax, unwind and enjoy. And it's a retreat, somewhere where people can just get away from the stress of Port Moresby and the stress of life.
Yeah. Tell us about the improvements and the renovations that you've made around here.
Well, actually, the developments here have been around our original house, which was actually in fairly poor condition, but we've built around the original house and adding to that, and then we've added more on. As well as renovating the original house, we've now added a kitchen, and thank you to SP Brewery for pallets and things for that. and we keep trying to add things. We're converting a small house into a preschool to try to serve community. The retreat is hopefully one day for business. At present it's not a money maker, but that's normal with small businesses. The learning centre concept, which has started with the early learning, that's separate from the retreat, and the funds are separated for that as well. And the idea is that that must be self-sustaining to make this whole social enterprise sustainable. The aim of the social enterprise is to give a sustainable future for the extended family. Yeah. Nobody will be millionaires, but hopefully people will be able to feed themselves.
And we were talking earlier, and you mentioned that this is all family business, run by the family. So the carpenter...
The master carpenters, they're from there. He's our elder from our family in the village. And then other family members do the carpentry and things.
And he's done an amazing job.
Yeah.
They're doing really well.
And they do a certain amount of work, and then we have a break while I try to accumulate more funds to keep going. Yeah. Sometimes we use other people to do work when we want a quick job, but when we want something where we want detail and kind of to reflect the whole place and the late Soburi and everything, well then make sure we use family.
When the boat is available, the fishermen are out at sea. Today we were graced with a full esky. So what are your plans for the retreat, say 5 years from now? Where would you like to see this retreat going?
Well, it's a retreat, a retreat, and also a learning centre. My dream is to get another building into the side of the hill where I can transfer the PNG section of the library and the Motu, anything I have on the Motu tribal section, Motu culture and the Motu tribal background. And I would like that to be separated into another building, and it's kind of like a museum type display for that. And also be used as a workshop room, a conference room, and underneath that would be an area where young people could be screen printing and learning skills. I'm sure once we have the facilities, we will be able to find people who will come and do training for young people and encourage people that they have so many skills, but they can't see how they can commercialize them. And I'm trying to get people to understand. I mean, our Motu Koitabu people, they have enormous skills in singing and dancing and cooking and feasting, but they haven't yet, in general, most people haven't commercialized that yet. Yeah, I'm trying to create an enabling environment so that it can be here when my time has gone and I pass on, the family can still survive without having to ask me for rice and things, and get them so they are independent and self-reliant in that way. See, with the Motu people, their life before, they had their gardens, they had their fishing, they had all of those things, and now, because of the nature of we're the capital city, the land has gone, most of it. There aren't gardens anymore, or the people who try to make gardens find that the food is stolen. That's the reality. Even villages down the coast, people steal their food from their gardens. And so, you know, it's a very hard transition they're going through. And they're having to find new ways, other than if you're not in the public service or in private sector, you're out there. The Motu culture traditionally was not what you'd call an entrepreneurial culture. They worked hard for events, but it wasn't entrepreneurial in the sense of the Highlands culture. It adapted very quickly to capitalism because their ways of getting leaders were entrepreneurial ways, building up more pigs, more, you know, and so culturally, where Melanesia is not one, Melanesia is many, and we've got to learn how we can all live together and not take advantage of each other.
So that's what you're trying to do.
Yeah. And I'm saying the people living on your land now, they've got to become your customers. Yeah.
No. So what's the most busiest time here, do you think?
At present, we basically open on weekends only, unless people ask, and then we open up during the week because we're still developing. Sunday, I'd say, is the busiest time, Sunday afternoon after church. Saturday, we get a few people coming in. We don't get a lot of people yet in terms of casual drop-ins. We get a few functions, birthday parties and things, and I'm sure that will build up, but we're not really marketing yet because we've got to know that we can deal with and cope with what we're doing. We don't have any professional staff brought in. It's all family learning what to do, and I'll bring in some training later. Yeah, and so I want to not try to aim for something we're not yet capable of carrying off. But eventually we'll have things like traditional cooking lessons for people in town, and that will give employment to relatives who come from the village and teach things. Many things can be. This is endless. It's just a matter of getting people to grasp the concept and not think that I'm doing this for me, because my time on earth now is limited. I'm not going to really benefit from this, but to understand that, you know, there are many ways. And I think probably it's not just the Motu people. Often people in general are not seeing how to commercialize the skills that they have and what will appeal. Yeah.
So just now, what do you like to do here to relax and unwind? What's the best thing you do? Do you just
sit and be lazy on the veranda, go rowing in the dinghy, and maybe start throwing in a fishing line, and pottering around in the garden. I like gardening, yeah. And I've now got some goats and things, and so yeah, things like that. In fact, I don't like going into town. I have to go into town too much for meetings, and I kind of...
You're going to pull it all here.
Yeah, as time goes on, I hope that that will stop. I don't have to go to town for meetings. I can just relax here. Yeah.
Really, why not?
But you can hear them shoveling down there. I'm pleased now because we're doing this. The late Gaudi Kidu, who designed the original house, his children are now developing their block.
So they're seeing you in there.
Yeah, I think so. And I'm encouraging people, you know. I'm in my 70s. We clean the beach every weekend. Maybe the others will follow and clean the beach, you know. Yeah. And I'm pleased because I've got young boys here who, they're from the village, and they come and stay here and help and everything from family. And I can see that their attitudes are changing a bit. Not that things were wrong before, but they can see some hope for a future, you know. And even in our own young people here, I've seen a big change, that they can see a potential future that they couldn't see before. Yeah.
So you mentioned earlier that you got some people from outside to help you build the rooms. So what are the rooms going to be for? Is that just a day?
A day type thing,
use?
like motels, yes, yeah. No permanence. I think some people have been saying, oh, so we can come and live here. I said, no, you can't come and live here.
But you can stay overnight.
Oh yeah, overnight or a few nights, or even someone who might want to come and write a report for a week and not stay up in town in one of the fancy hotels. They would come and stay here for a week, writing reports instead of a hotel, and trying to create a peaceful environment where people can just focus.
So apart from, you've got the outdoor cooking, the deck, the beautiful view, you even have kayaks. Do you do any boat cruise or anything like that here?
Yeah, we do trips to the island, and we're working on upgrading the dinghy a bit for that too. Trips to the island, or some people just want to trip out and see look over the side of the dinghy to the reef. Or some people come down, some of the expatriate population come down, they get a couple of kayaks, they go out there and snorkel, they bring their snorkel and snorkel over the reef and then come back in, yeah.
And what's the menu like in the kitchen?
The menu has been fish and chips, but I've said, come on, time to diversify. So last weekend we had red sausages on sticks, tutu toasties, the toasted sandwiches, and we'll start doing things like bruschetta. We're starting to diversify now.
And who's
we'll have chicken
your
and
head
chips.
chef in there? Is it Gamu?
No, Gamu's not the head chef, he's a fisherman. And although he likes cooking, my grandson Ranu is there, and his mum, who's not here at present. She's involved with a family matter, not our family, yeah. And so, not what you'd say professional qualified chefs. Maybe later we'll look towards that, but we couldn't afford to pay one at present. And this is one of the problems I've found, trying to do a social enterprise in a small, medium level. You don't earn the money for the two most important positions, an accountant and a manager. We couldn't afford to employ a manager or an accountant. I'm just studying to get an accountant this year. And then later we look towards, well, can we afford an overall manager? So it takes away the stress from all being family, you know, because that can be difficult, yes. But for a small enterprise, you don't earn enough to employ those very critical positions. And later I need to find someone to oversee the educational components, because I want a lot more than just a preschool. We'll have FODE, we have got that now, but it's not going too well yet. And I want to do workshopping, I want to do leadership workshops for young people and advertise it in the schools, grade 11, 12, university leadership workshop. Do you know our Constitution? Do you know the world conventions that we've signed off on? Things like that. Things that our general population are probably lacking in the knowledge. And I think it's useful if we can do that. And I enjoy doing that. But these are all for the future, and we need someone to oversee the total educational component of what's happening in the Burikiddu Library Learning Centre component of this, which is a separate component from the retreat.
Speaking of the Burikiddu Library, why don't we head over in there?
Sounds good.
After the break, we walk through the Burikiddu Library. Dame Carol Kiddu was born in Shorncliffe, Queensland, Australia. She came to Port Moresby after marrying Burri Kiddu, who was knighted in 1980 upon his appointment as first Indigenous Chief Justice of Papua New Guinea. In 1994, 3 years after moving to Tutu Beach, Se Kiddu tragically passed away. In honor of him, his loving wife built a library at the retreat for the community and named it the Se Burikiddu Library. Just tell me about your love story. You told me you met in high school, yes?
Yeah, grade 11. I was 16 and we were in different schools, but we met at a fitness camp, yeah. So that was the beginning of a never-ending story. Yeah.
The library was initially the meeting place. With the help of family carpenters, Dame Carol expanded the retreat and opened the venue to the general public. So the library is dedicated to him. It's for the community?
For the community and, visit any visitors who come down. The original building here, I should say, was designed by my late brother-in-law, Gaudi Kiddu, and built by the carpenters, the master carpenters from the village, from our family, Anyone. Last year, before the main exams, it was quite interesting. Quite a few students came down and said, can we use the library and sit here, get away from our crowded family houses? And they'd come and sit here to do their study. Yeah. And it's open to anyone. It's got a good collection. But if people want to borrow, they of course have to become members of the library. But library membership goes towards the preschool and the learning operations. It doesn't go to the retreat. Any library membership goes into the supporting the learning components of this development. Yeah.
So apart from the library, you also have the Early Learning Centre. So why don't we head out to the Early Learning Centre and just see it? Yeah?
Yes, okay. Could have at least pushed it off the road. Down the front.
Also close to the retreat is the Se Burikiddu Learning Centre.
I think they've got about 54 at present.
And how long has this been running?
Just this year. We did a bit of a trial run at the end of last year for the teachers to get used to it. But we've only actually opened officially this year. Hello, how did you go today?
I'm afraid it's nothing more than a daydream.
Sunday. Gang, let's see.
Dame Carol opened the centre for the Tarama community and has 3 volunteer teachers that run the school from 9 a.m. to 1 p.m. The school has up to 50 plus students ranging between the ages from 2 to 12 years old.
Daydream.
Dame Carol Kidu and her family have great plans for the community down here, with plans to expand the retreat and introduce programs for the youths. This getaway is soon to be the next best thing.
Good evening, everyone. I'm Lamek, and thanks for joining me for another BSP segment on Haus Home. We begin this year with information from our 2020 Leadership Forum, held in February in Port Moresby, where in conjunction, the bank recognizes its long service staff and announced its community partnership with the Brisbane Broncos. BSP Chairman Sec Costas Constantino and BSP Group CEO Robin Fleming, representing the bank, presented 22 employees for service ranging from 25 and 40 years. The awardees are of different branches, business lines, and subsidiaries across PNG and the offshore branches. Special commendations were given to 4 employees for having served the bank for 40 years. Ms. Tui Pulotu of BSP Tonga, Lucy Darius of BSP Kevian, Tapiva Lavutul of BSP Lay Top Town Branch, and Stephen Wapikari of BSP Medeng Branch. After the forum, BSP Group CEO Robin Fleming also announced the bank's 2-year community partnership contract with popular Australian NRL club, the Brisbane Broncos. The Brisbane Broncos club was represented by Women's Premiership CEO and the General Manager, HR, Risk and Compliance, Dane Drinkwater, and popular retired forward and ambassador, Petro Sivanasiva. This partnership will focus on both parties working together in 3 key areas within the BSP operations. 1. SME, 2. Leadership Development Program, and 3. Education through Financial Literacy Program. About financial literacy, BSP provides financial literacy to over 18,000 participants in 2019, from church groups, youth groups, students, and community groups. We know that having a well-informed community can help them in improving their lifestyle. Our financial literacy trainings are conducted for free by well-trained trainers who are available at our branches in every province, making it convenient for reach. Speaking of convenience, be sure to register for BSP Mobile Banking to do payments for services. BSP Mobile Banking is faster, cheaper, and more convenient way you can conduct your day-to-day banking. It enables you to access your account via the USSD *131# service using your mobile phones and purchase your Air Niugini airline ticket, pay your bills using Bill Pay, top up mobile phone credits, top up EasyPay power credits, and make loan repayments. BSP Mobile Banking is only available to Digicel and B-Mobile subscribers 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. Well, that wraps up this BSP segment for this month. We welcome your feedback on this program. You can reach us via Messenger on our BSP Facebook page. Until our next BSP segment, I wish you well. Thank you for banking with BSP.
Welcome to this week's Pet Care segment. I've got Tawaki and Tomun here with me, and we're going to be giving Tomun a bath. Tawaki, you want to show the camera what we're going to wash Tomun with? Torment is a mastiff, known as the giant amongst dogs. Full-grown males start at 30 inches tall and can weigh as much as 90 kilos. So even though Torment is humongous, he's only about 4 to 5 months old. Today he's getting a bath. First things first, buy the shampoo. Use a dog-specific shampoo or baby shampoo to prevent suds from stinging their eyes. Pick a spot and stick to it. If you're wondering how to bathe a scared dog, remember, consistency is critical when it comes to keeping your pet clean and calm. Having a bath can be uncomfortable. So if you find a place they're familiar with, it will ease their fears or at least let them know what to expect. Gather before you lather. Once your doggo is wet, you'll have your hands full. Luckily, I have my little helpers, but it's best to have everything you need nearby. Water temperature matters. Lukewarm water to slightly warm water is ideal. Never use hot water as it can burn your dog's skin. Think of what would be good for a baby or a small child. Not too hot and not too cold. Clean from bottom to top, rinse from head to tail. Follow the instructions on the shampoo bottle, then lightly lather the soap in a circular motion, paying particular attention to their paws and other places prone to dirt. Rinse from the head and work your way down and away from their sensitive spots. And dry, or you can even blow dry. Make sure to make it fun for you and your dog. This is a great bonding time with your pet. Make sure to be patient and gentle.
Greetings and salutations, and welcome to another segment of Tech People. I am Q. This week we are observing International Women's Day, and as such I've got some mobile apps and gadgets that is suitable for women. Let's start off with safety. Number 1, CheckSafe.
A great concern for many women and girls in PNG is their safety and security while traveling around. As such, Anne Korave and Nancy Gerriga have created CheckSafe app, which was launched in December 2019. CheckSafe is a mobile application that digitalizes personal safety and security for individuals to request for help, report incidents, access security warnings, updates, and access security emergency contacts. It is a real-time personal and safety security application that has two main functions integrated into Google Maps: to request help from responders when in danger or in distress, and also to report incidents for crime in real time too. The app is available on Google Play stores. Install the app from the Play Store, open the app, sign up as a general user or a respondent. Add your emergency contact and numbers, use the panic alert and report an incident function for your own safety, or your nearest victim, and help as a responder.
Number 2, Family Finance Tracker.
The Family Finance Tracker is a mobile application that has a 5-star rating on the Google Play Store. It basically helps you manage your household budget on your mobile phone or from the web from your computer. The main functionalities of the app are help you plan your weekly or monthly budget, track your expenses. You can also choose any currency. You can share the accounts with other family members, enabling you to track their expenses. And at the end of the month, you can view a summary of your cash flow into your family.
Number 3, Google Photos.
Google Photos is a mobile phone application that I recommend you should download and use regularly. Basically, not only Google Photos can store your photos on your phone, but it will regularly do a backup for your photos to the clouds. Hence, whenever you lose your phone, or if your phone gets damaged, you will not lose all your wonderful memories. You can still get your photos back by downloading Google Photos to your new mobile phone device and sign in to Google Photos. It also frees up memory space on your mobile device, and that is a major advantage.
Number 4, Audible.
Audible is an audiobook application that lets you listen to practically any book published, from the bestsellers like Michelle Obama's Becoming or self-help books like The Secret by Rhonda Byrne. However, first you need to sign up for a monthly subscription to access the massive library of over 200,000 books.
Number 5, Headspace.
If you're always busy and stressed with work and looking after your family, then Headspace would be a wonderful application that you might want to download to your phone. It is a mindfulness application that takes you through meditation and reflection to help you steady your mind, reduce stress, and give you a peaceful night's rest. Just download the application, install it on your mobile phone, and follow the simple step-by-step, easing you into a more relaxed and stress-free mode.
And just recapping the mobile phone applications: Check Safe for your safety and security, Family Finance app, Google Photos, Audible for audiobooks, and for your peace of mind, Headspace. And that brings us to the end of Tech People. I am Q. See you next time.